Howdy folks, it's Earl here and welcome back to X-Plane 11. We are going to bite the bullet, the silver bullet in the sky, and try to redo our long flight from Warsaw, Poland to Tallinn, Estonia. If you recall, a few weeks back we did this flight, and just about when we were going to reach our final approach, autopilot went nuts and careened us to the left and down, and we crashed and burned. And I was very disappointed because this is the longest flight I've ever done in this aircraft, and I was all excited about it, and autopilot went goofy. I've had that happen in other aircraft over the years, so I don't know what it is. Of course, people tell me it's my fault, and I tried to introduce some input, and that's why I did that. But I know this plane extremely well, and I was just sitting in my chair playing a game on my phone. Look at all those police. What is going on? There's 4 there, then there's a couple more over there. Do you see all that? There's at least, gosh, I don't know, maybe those aren't police. Those are different looking. What are those vehicles? Those are very different looking vehicles. Are they like, oh, they're just airport trucks. And I usually don't fly at night. Whoops, so I don't see that normally. Okay, nice. It's been a long time since I've flown at night. Oh, the sun's coming up. I want to get going before sunset or sunrise, but we'll see here. Anyway, there's downtown Poland, downtown Warsaw. We're at Chopin Airport, flying to Tallinn, Estonia. I am going to redo this whole flight as though we didn't do it before. So if you watch the first one, both parts, you're going to get a lot of repeat information, but hopefully you still enjoy it anyway. We are taking off. It's like 5:03 a.m. sim time, and I'm hoping to take off by 5:30 sim time, so we have a nice sunrise. Whereas before we did it in the middle of the day. In real life, it's very early on a Saturday morning. I'm trying to sneak this in before my kids get up, although one of them already beat me up, and he's upstairs watching a movie because Dad needs some dad time before the crazy holidays. This is being recorded before the holidays. You're watching this, gosh, I think day or two before New Year's Eve. So happy New Year to all you folks in the future. It's going to be a 2-parter at least because there's a lot going on, as I mentioned before in a previous 727 2-parter. I could just take off, have a minute of sightseeing and land, but there's so much that goes on in this plane, and flying this plane is such a big deal. And this is such a long flight. I don't want to take like a 3-hour, 4-hour flight and make it 45 minutes. I just don't. I don't want to rush through it. I don't want to rush you all through it. There's a lot that goes into this plane. It's exhausting in a good way, but it's exhausting by the time you're done. By the time you land this thing, even if the landing doesn't go well, it's exhausting, and I want you to experience that with me in a way, in a positive way. So at least a 2-parter. I don't foresee it being 3, but 2 very long parts probably. We won't do every VOR change, but we'll do most of them. We'll talk about all the important stuff for sure. I'll probably ramble and go on a few tangents. If you're new to the channel, that's how I roll here. If you're a veteran of the channel, thank you for still watching. There's about 180 of you now who watch every single flight sim video. I appreciate each and every one of you. That's very exciting. Welcome to new subscribers. And on that note, as much as it cringes me to say, please hit that like button because it tells the YouTube algorithm that you like my tiny corner of YouTube, and YouTube will say, okay, let's show these videos to more people, so other people who are like-minded like you all can also enjoy our teeny tiny corner of YouTube. So that like button, believe it or not, is actually extremely important for the YouTube algorithm. So if you don't mind hitting it, that'd be great. Appreciate it very much. And I think that's it for introduction. I have charts ready to go. I checked the weather. Real world weather is turned on for this flight. I'm so excited. I love when we can fly real world weather. We've had a few doozies with the weather lately, so this should be okay. It's at our destination. The wind is coming from 270 degrees at 8 knots. We'll use runway 26 with the ILS. Shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. And hopefully the landing goes well. I've been replaying the landing in my head as I loaded the sim and how I'm going to do it. I have had successful landings in this plane in the current version of both the plane and X-plane. So there's no reason why I can't do it again. The reason why I'm so hung up on the landings of these things is, one, this used to be my best plane for landing and operating. I used to nail every landing every time, X-Plane 10, X-Plane 11, 11.36. And then the sim updated and the plane updated, and I can't land this thing to save my life. I can land it, but it's not as good as I would like it to be. So that's kind of frustrating. Secondly, it's a big deal to land this thing because you go on these really long flights or even short flights. It takes sometimes, it takes forever to get this thing in the air than it does to fly. You do all this work and then you like bounce the landing, and it's annoying. As a 41-year-old adult, I get annoyed at stuff like this. I kind of revert to being a child, and I just want to like take my ball off the playground and go home after a long flight and then bouncing this thing. So I'm going to do what I can. I should be able to land just fine. It's just I'm going to be doing this for like 3 to 4 hours today, probably taking a break and pausing the sim to feed my kids and play a game with them or something. So this is going to be an all-day affair for me, and I just don't want to script the landing. So those are my hang-ups. Thank you for being my therapy right now, and we're going to get started. So what are we doing? I have my checklist on a desk thing next to my desk now, so I can see it as I go instead of losing it in the dark. Because remember, I fly completely in the dark. My only light sources are my monitors, so it makes it hard to read my paper checklists. All right. We are completely cold and dark, by the way. Normally I have a few things going, but you know what? This is going to be a full flight from start to finish, every detail. So we are completely cold and dark. It's like I said, like now it's like probably 5:10 a.m. or something in the sim. So here we go. Air stairs are down so we can get in. What are we going to do first? We're going to hop inside like this. And we are going to turn on the air cart and GPU. And we should get some sounds here, some new sounds. There they are. My personal volume was way too low. Then what are we going to do? Let's see. We know our distance. We know our landing altitude. We know all this preparation stuff. Wheel rudders turned on. Time of day, we talked about that. So let's go over here and turn on external power to use the air cart. And that's it. Just some lights. These lights are really stinking bright, aren't they? Let's get some red lights on here. Well, we don't really play with lights much, but here's a fluorescent. Isn't that awesome? It clicks and everything. So you'd probably come in and have this on right now as we get going. So I guess we can have that on. I'm going to forget to turn that off though, aren't I? I'm totally going to forget to turn that off, but let's just keep it anyway. What's this one? Oh, that's the white. Yeah, let's keep the red up a little bit. And this. All right, the reason why I'm spending so much time doing this is because we don't play with the lights very often, and the designers, I'm not sure who it is. I don't think it's Val does the textures. I don't think he does the lighting. I think Jack does the lighting himself. Anyway, whoever did the lighting on that FlyJSim team, I mean, monumental effort. I followed the process of this. So we're going to appreciate these lights. The test isn't working probably because we don't have the AP on. We're going to appreciate all these lights. So bear with me a minute as I screw around with this stuff. We're going to need our flashlight to turn on some things. Is this the... Which one is the... That's the map light, isn't it? Maybe we need more than just the battery. No, there we go. There we go. There's working. Okay. That's not going to do any good for what we're doing, though. We're looking for the fluorescent light here. I think it's this one. Hang on. Let me move over. I don't normally use the light, so I don't have a good... Yeah. Forward panel fluorescent. There it is. Boom. Look at that. So there's also... Bear with me again, because this is worth the time. There is this one. Yes, the dome. Red dome, and then there's the white dome. And I just use the red right now. I could use a white dome, I guess, because it's not even working. Yeah, it is. Okay, let's turn the red one on. Turn that off, turn the red one on. We'll fly out the red a little bit while the sun comes up, but for right now, we'll keep this going. And then as we start pushback, we'll turn all these lights off. I'm totally going to forget to turn these lights off. And then halfway through the flight, I'd be like, oh, crap. Okay, awesome. We normally don't get to play with that, so let's take advantage. Alrighty, what is next? We're going to get the passengers loaded. So let's go over here. Pretty big flight today. We are going to adjust a few things for weight and balance, but otherwise, Pretty big flight. Distance is 535 nautical miles. So 535 would be like that, but then we add in case there's a problem, and then I add more because I freak out about stuff. So we're gonna have lots of fuel, but we're way below takeoff and landing weight, so that doesn't matter. It'd just be a waste, basically, a waste of fuel to lift a plane with more fuel weight than needed, right? My grandfather, story time alert, short one. My grandfather had a huge conversion van with dual 60-gallon tanks or some insane thing, and he would always insist on filling them both up all the time. And I told him, think about this, that fuel weighs so much, and you never drive more than 5 miles or even 15 miles at a time, so your gas mileage is terrible because you're burning so much fuel just to carry the weight of all that fuel you're never going to need, right? And oh my gosh, my grandmother understood, and she got so mad at him because, you know, they were in their 80s back then, and you know, limited income, so paying for gas to carry gas around was a big deal. And he just liked having full tanks everywhere he went. He would also drive 35 miles in the city to get to a gas station that had gas for 2 pennies cheaper. It was ridiculous, but that was, you know, when you're retired, you have nothing else to do. He didn't have any hobbies, so that was his hobby. It was gas. I guess. Well, my grandmother did not like it. Let's get rid of you. We don't need you. Where is that thing? I don't use it very much. Yeah, get rid of this tablet. Hello? Thank you. Let's see what else we need to do. What is next? Yeah, see, we're already like halfway through a normal video and just got the lights on. Alrighty, it's gonna be a long one, I told you. Battery on. If you hear my voice changing, it's because I'm turning it to the right to look at my checklist, so I might have to move my checklist. I'll have to see in editing what it sounds like. Battery on, turning my head to look at my list. APU. Hopefully it's not changing the voice too much. Well, no. There we go. Start this thing up. It's going to be a couple minutes. But thankfully, through the magic of editing, it's only a few seconds for you. Alright, and that temperature drop means we're ready to go. What is next? Field and generator to close. There's field and generator, and then we'll click off this test light and come over here, and external power should turn itself off, and it did because we are now on APU power. Alrighty, so what is next? Let's get some lighting going here. Logo light, let's look at that actually. We don't normally get to see it. There we go. Logo's lit up, see, right in here you can see it. Wing light and beacon. And let's see what else. No smoking and seatbelt. No smoking. Seatbelt, emergency lights arm. Just push that down. Stall warning. Again, once you hear that, it's too late. So you don't ever want to hear that. Window heat. Oh, I love how the lighting reflects. Again, just amazing little details that if they weren't there, you would notice, but they're there so you don't notice. So let's try to notice them, like the light reflecting off the surrounding textures. APU bleed confirm open, and they are. Cooling doors confirm open, and they are. Adjust the light switches now. So I think, because we're going to get ready to start engines, let's get these lights off that we don't need. Where are you? Turn you off. This one. Right, there we go. Let me just have the dome light. Some of these are really stinking bright, aren't they? Is that one? Yeah, okay. Some of these are really bright. Holy moly. Oh, what's that one? Oh yeah, that's all this stuff. Yeah, we're gonna keep that one on a little bit, because if it's off, these gauges hurt my eyes. So let's turn it on a little bit like that. Oh, this is so fun. We normally don't get to play with this. That is down there, yeah. Let's keep that. Oh, whoa, no. Slow down. There we go. Let's reset that. That can stay. That can stay. Let's turn these down a little bit. And turn that down a little bit. There. Look at how beautiful that is. Wow. Okay, what is next? Disconnect the air cart. Whoops. We want this one. And GPU, we'll hear wind down. I think you heard them wind down. My personal volume is way too low. All I hear is my heater in my house going. Alright, let's see here. DC meter ESSTR already is. Next page of my checklist. Gasper fan on. And red AC pack on. Air pressure. We are going to fly at 32,000 feet today. Well, we did that last time and we flew like cockeyed. Let's do 30,000 just because at 29,000 we'll switch to Mach hold for our last 1,000 nautical mile climb. But we will. Let's do 30,000 today. Landing altitude is airport elevation is 135, so we will do about 140. There we go. Switch this to ground. Okay, simple enough. Flight plan stuff. So the flight plan, given this distance, it's actually extremely simple. We only have 5 VORs. And for our approach, we're going to tune in the VOR at the airport. We don't have ATC, so we have to vector ourselves to capture the ILS. And the way we're going to do that, in fact, I think, note to self, take a picture of my flight plan, and I'll insert it here, and you'll see all my notes on the right. We're going to put the VOR of the airport in nav2 so we know the distance, and then we're going to divert about 25 miles away from the airport, do kind of an arcy like triangle thing, and then we'll capture the VOR to the airport, preferably 11.7 miles or further away at 261 degrees, and then we'll capture the ILS and then approach at 262 degrees. That's the plan. And then I have my PDF of all the charts for both runways 8 and 26 in case the weather changes. I have both charts up in front of me. I can see them both at the same time, but I'm set up for runway 26 in my head. But we can always change it if we have to. So that's that. The first VOR, then we want 114.9, and the reason for that is we're just going to point at that. I don't care what angle we approach it at. We're just going to point at it. So see right here, the double arrows mean nav2. We're just going to point at it, and once we get to it, we are going to leave 114.9 at 31 degrees. Is that right? I guess it is. Okay. We're going to leave it at 31 degrees, which will be like that. And then as soon as we pick up the next VOR, we'll approach that at 32. So here we go. 114.9er leaving at 31 degrees. Next VOR is 117.7, which normally we wouldn't be duplicating nav 1 and 2, but because I want to point at nav 1, I'm sorry, I want to point at the first VOR just to get there. We're going to put it over here. So 117.7, and then this one will get ahead by a VOR once we have station passage of the first one. You'll see, I'm going to talk that through in the video. It's a little differently than we did it the first time we tried this flight. So 117.7, boom. Then after that, we go 112.05, then 112.12, and then we'll tune the ILS. Okay? So even though it has a lot of distance, it's very simple. We could have like 20 VORs. Like when we went to Salt Lake City or when we went to Denver, we had like 20 VORs. It was like every 15 miles. We don't have to do it that way. I just did. All right, so that's good there. Flight plan stuff, right? And then we'll do the AP altitude. What we're going to do, we'll just go right up to 30,000 feet, I think I said we're going to do. Right away. Okay, weather information. We should have an ATIS. I would think we have an ATIS. Let's see here. ATIS, where are you? ATIS 120, 450. 120, 450. 120, 12045. It was an imaginary zero. There we go. altimeter 3024.
Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 7. Dew point 4. Altimeter 3024.
3024.
Arriving runway 11. Departing runway 11. Advised on initial contact you have uniform.
Alright, we have uniform and we're departing runway 11. Departing runway 11. So what is that going to look like here? 11, it's probably going to be this one. Or is it going to be this one? What's that other airport number? 11 and 15. So this will be 11. Because 111 degrees. I'm sorry, this will be one. I was right the first time. This will be 111 degrees. This will be 550. Because remember, straight down is 180. So that'd be 18, 15, 11. Okay, it's a short runway. That's fine. We are here, so we are going to. How are we going to get there? We're going to have to cross a runway, I guess. Or can we get through here? Can't tell because of this line. So I'm thinking we're going to go out to the right and then left and then follow this guy. Yeah, so we're going to kind of go to the right and then left, and then that should be obvious from there. But I'll keep this map up just in case I get messed up because I don't know the airport. Okay, 3024, runway 11, piece of cake. What's next here? Close or rear stairs. Everybody should be boarded by now. If not, too bad, so sad. Take the next one. Stairs are closing. That's shift F1. People think it's shift 1. It's not. It's shift F1. All right, what is next? Turn on the 8 fuel pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Turn off all AC packs. How come these are so dim? Did I really dim those down? I don't want that one. I want... Which one do I want? I can't really tell. Circuit breaker, panel background. I want the actual individual lights. We go this one. There we go. Okay. Well, that's too bright. Sorry I'm so finicky, but it's because we can be. You know what I mean? We can do it, so let's just mess with it. All right. AC packs off. Confirm all bleed valves open under 5,000 feet. We have plenty of PSI. And we are ready to start this up. Well, better pushback first. So first I got to see, are we going to get a pushback or are we just going to take off? I said we wanted to kind of go out to the right, which would be... Okay, I see taxi lines here. There's our runway there. So I think we're going to follow these taxi lines here. I can't really tell, but I'm pretty sure we're going to follow these taxi lines around, cross over, and then go over there. Because see, there's that guy taking off we were watching on the map. Right there. I think that's how we're going to do it. Sure looks that way, doesn't it? Okay, so do we need a better pushback? That's what my question was. They could push us back to here. But we really don't need anything, do we? We can just cheat ourselves a little bit here. That's because there's a taxi. We'll just cheat ourselves and go that way. Okay, no better pushback today. That's fine, because it's been acting wonky anyway. Alrighty, we'll start the engines from here though. Well, wrong one. Engines, oh gosh, I can't see. There we go. Start 2, come down here. As soon as it gets to 25, we will introduce fuel. These lights are way too bright. I don't have the controls memorized, so I'll fidget with it later. There's 22, 4, and fuel 2. And as soon as that stabilizes, we can start the next one, but I'm going to take a second and play with my lights. There, we're stable, and I got my lights turned down a little bit. Alrighty, let's see, get 3 going. Same thing, once it gets to 25, we'll introduce fuel. 20, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll wait for that one to stabilize. Alright, we're good there. I turned down these lights up here as well, and there's engine 1. And 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll let the final engine stabilize, and then we'll continue on. There we go. We're all good. So now hydraulic A and B can turn on. A is already on. B will be on. I can hear the hydraulics pumping up. I never noticed that before. That is so cool. Whoops, I bonked my personal volume again. I don't want it to bleed into the microphone, but I still want to hear what I'm doing. Alrighty, we're going to close the generator ties like so. Both AC packs can come on. Cargo heat to normal. Essential, no, AC meters. Essential power to generator, yeah. Essential power to generator. There we go. AC meters bus tie always is. Make sure there are no lights. Here, duct heat is working. Again, why? I mean, I'm glad that's not lit up. It's not supposed to be. That's all nice and that's all nice, right? There we go. Okay, let's see here. Make sure there are no lights. Fuel heat off already is. What is next? Page of our checklist. Let's see. Anti-ice, we don't mess with that, but we will do the probe heaters. And what's next? Trip to APU. And trippy. And turn it off. It'll wind down. I'll freak out, but everything should stay running. There's that wind down sound. All right, pressure switch from ground to flight. Cabin and temps, it's pretty cold today, so let's warm it up if I can get the right click spot. Actually, we want it cool. The pilot and I like it pretty cool, but we'll have it warmer for passengers. All right, with they're drinking lots of water. Let's see, gasper fan off and APU bleed closed. Alrighty, here we go. Speed bugs before we begin our taxi here. What do we want? We want set bugs. Flaps 20 at 118. Flaps 20 should be 4 o'clock on the dial. There it is right there. We should be able to see it from up here too. Yep, right there. Flaps 20. Piece of cake. And we're going to turn on our, what's my special button for that one? There it is. Turn this on. It's supposed to work. I haven't seen it work, but I know it does. I've seen screenshots on the Discord for FlyJSim, and it's working. I just don't see it working myself. Alrighty, here we go. Begin our taxi. Taxi lights or runway turn off on. Brake set to RTO. Nav, strobe, and beacon already on. Alrighty, and start the flaps. Let's hop here to watch the flaps start because we can. How pretty. Very nice animation. I don't know how they do it. Alrighty, we have 2 notches left on the flaps. Let's start our taxi. Rudder pedals working? No, they're stuck. I gotta reset them like usual. Now they're working. Alright, awesome. Parking brake is off. Get comfortable in my chair. Adjust my microphone. And not run over these service vehicles. And let's get going right to that taxi line. Come on, you can do it. And we're gonna taxi to the right, and then the right, and then left, and then straight across, I think. Something like that. I'll use the map if I need to, but we should be able to figure this out. Alright, we're rolling now. Holy moly, blinding everybody. But we've got this big toy plane coming down. Everybody out of the way. Let's see. Where are we going? There's words facing the other way. That's okay. Maybe that means we're on a one-way road and we're going the wrong way. I don't know. We'll figure this out. I think this is the right way. Pretty sure it was. I'm just going to go here and cross that other runway. Oh gosh, look at that little glider right there. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Teeny tiny little glider with the big planes. We're going to cross the runway here, I believe. This looks right. Sun still hasn't come up yet, which is awesome. Yeah, we're just going to cross this and then Once we cross the other runway, we'll turn right and we'll be ready to go. That is a gorgeous shot of downtown Warsaw behind us. Taking a screenshot there. How beautiful is that? Wow. Final flaps coming down as we're about to cross over the other runway. And there's the airport in Warsaw. Taking a screenshot. There we go. Look at that. That is gorgeous. I can't believe how awesome that looks. And there's the forest. Can you see the forest through the trees? Oh, look at that plane coming in. See it? Is that awesome? Oh my gosh, why am I like so thrilled about this part of the flight? Oh my gosh, like we haven't gotten in the air yet, and this has been the most interesting and exciting pre-flight stuff ever. I mean, that's why, you know, that's why this is such a big chunk of the videos, because it's that big of a deal, you know? Oh, missed my turn because I was watching the plane land from the wrong view. From a different view. Let's stop right here. Stop. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, there's way more to FlyJSim than just being in the air, right? I mean, all this stuff, from the very first switch you push in the cockpit to the taxi to everything, that's part of it. You know, people just want to get in the air and fly. Well, yeah, that's part of it too, but this is a gigantic chunk of the flight, especially in a big jet like this. In a general air, in a tiny plane, sure, you flip 2 switches and take off, but something like this is a big chunk of the flight, so I want to enjoy it all. Alrighty, we're not very straight, but that's okay. What are we doing? Where are we? End of runway, landing lights on. Let's turn the landing lights on. Confirm RTO. Confirm flaps. 20. What else do we do? Trim, we just click the green band. Trim for takeoff. Note the time on the clock. We'll do that in a second. Let's set this to 250. That's our speed limit. So remember, this is where we're headed towards as soon as we take off. We're going to aim towards that double arrow. Like I said, I don't care what degrees we approach it at. I kind of want to approach it at 360 at 0. So we'll kind of turn so that the double arrows line up with 0 when we line up with it, but whatever. And then this will be our first VOR outbound. So what we're going to do that, because we're going to use autopilot right away, I think, I don't know, maybe we'll hand fly a little bit. First, we're going to get going. Come on. What time is it? It's 5:45. So I think I want to take off by 6. We're ahead of schedule. When you're flying the Tall Turtle Airlines, you better get to the airport early, because we often take off early. All right, so what are we going to do here? Let's get out on the runway first. Hopefully there's not another plane coming that's going to land over our heads. I didn't think to check. The AI is usually spaced out enough that you have lots of time in between. Hey, look at that. It lined up almost. Let's stop 1 second before you take off. And set the parking brake one more time. I just want to get your heading bug adjusted. So what we're going to do, we basically want to do it 180, but we want to approach this at 360 if we can. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the heading bug to, let's see, if we turn all the way around, we want to hit it that way. So let's actually set the heading bug this way and go out a little bit, I think. Well, it's going to be a really sharp turn to get back to this. I'm thinking that's where 60. No, there's 60 there. Hang on. Why am I drawing a blank how I want to do this? We want to go opposite, but we don't want to go at that yet. So let's go like this. We'll see how this works out. Otherwise, we're good to go. So we'll do that in a minute. I'll walk you through what I'm thinking. I'll just show you what I'm thinking. It's very different than blabbing about it. So here we go. We only want 97 on those throttles. We don't want 100. So I'm bringing them back a little bit. Of course, you can use 100 if you really, really need to, but it wears out the engine. Although you don't have wear and tear on. But there we go. 80 knots. Rotate. Lift back ever so slightly. No tail strike. There we go. It basically will take itself off. Gear coming in. Flaps coming in, because we want to stay on that flap schedule. We don't want to ruin the flaps. Keep our airspeed, or our positive rate, but watch our speed. We don't want to speed. Here we go. And autopilot engage. Heading selected. Alt selected. IAS hold. And there we go. It's going to turn us to the right or left? To the right. Flaps coming in. It'll point us down a little bit to get our 250. And then we'll start ascending again. Let's have a quick look outside. We got to manage these engines so they don't start on fire. But there you go. There's Warsaw downtown. There's the airport. Basically, we're going to head this direction towards the water and then go north. But look at that. Oh, this is gorgeous. Incredible. Quick look around because we have to get inside the airplane. Those things can go wrong. So let's hop inside. There we go. We're at a speed limit. Let's bring back throttles a little bit so we don't ascend like nutcases here. See how steeply we're ascending. So gears in, flaps are in. That can come off. This can go to disarm. We'll leave all the lights on till 10,000, and then we will standard barometer at 18,000, and then we will do Mach hold at 29,000 feet, even though we're only going to 30,000 feet. That's it. See how easy that is? So now we just got to figure out how we want to approach this. So we want to approach it at 0. So if we keep going this direction, it should move to the right, and it is. See how slowly moving to the right? So once it gets to be about 0, we will turn to the right and turn to 0, which is 360. Capture it that way. That's how we're going to do it. That is so simple. Alrighty, we're below 92 on N1, so that's fine. Once we hit 10,000 feet, we'll increase our rate of ascent to our IS to 280. That's it. So what do we need to do? A couple things at 10,000 feet. So I'm just going to cut out the next 30 seconds so we get to 10,000 feet. And there's 10,000 feet, so let's turn off our landing lights. And the taxi lights and everything, that's already off. Gears are already off. We can increase this to 280 now, which is that one. So we are going to nose down a little bit to increase our speed, but that's fine. And we're about ready to turn towards our VOR, because see how it's almost at 360? We're almost there. Let's look around a little bit while we can. What a smooth flight. Hopefully the rest of it is smooth too. This one is so neat. I love this plane so much. It's just really involved, you know. So I need, oh, don't stall on me, Sim. Which means it needs a chunk of time to fly, right? So that's what I'm doing this on an early Saturday morning before I'm needed for the day. Let's just appreciate all the towns below us. Look at that. All right, that's almost at 0, so let's start turning towards it. We may have turned a little too late because I was sightseeing. Yeah, we're going to have to S-curve a little bit, but that's actually okay because then it won't be such a sharp turn to intercept our VOR. So what's going to happen here, I'll show you once this turn is complete. Is we will actually, hang on, let me, we overshot it, which is fine because it'll be a, like I said, a softer. Oh, there it is right there. See, is we're going to do this. We're going to capture 31. Hey, get out of my way. We're going to capture 31 degrees outbound from the VOR, which we're already. That was such a long sweeping curve. We turned right into the VOR. That's awesome. So now it's going to zigzag to catch up to it. Doesn't matter, whatever. It'll make us a little dizzy, but that's okay. So that's it, I think. For now, we're almost at 18,000 feet. We'll do standard barometer in a moment. So let's see. What are we doing here? What are we doing? We're outbounding. Are we outbounding? Hang on. Dude. Oh, man. This is the thing with the radios, is they're so primitive. It's just really, it's not smart enough to know, let's just slowly turn this way. No, it really wants to get there. So now we're going to go to left again. But anyway, we passed the first VOR. We're going to do 31 degrees outbound. We have 100 and some miles to go. So let's do 117 in the second nav. I'm going to do 112.05 in the second nav. If you remember the chart I pasted earlier, we put in the next VOR so we know where we're going. Whoops, wrong one, right? Let me double check my work here. 114.9, we're outbound. Then we'll be inbound to 117.70. This will tell us when we can pick it up and how far we are. Then after that, oh, we do have an intersection. 15 miles out of this one, we turn towards this one. Oh, nice. If we pick it up. 12.5. Yes, and then we'll do the airport stuff when we get there. So very few VORs. That's it. Let's do standard barometer. 299er2. That's gonna make autopilot get mad. That's okay. 299er2. Now this standard barometer thing is a US thing, I know, but I don't know what it is in Europe, so I'm just gonna do the same thing. Okay, so we have our radio set up and ready to go for the next couple VORs. We know we're 127 miles from the next VOR. So at some point I will change over to the other VOR. We'll do 32 inbound. That will be captured on camera. We're at 280 there. We're gonna climb to 30,000. When this gets to 29,000, we're gonna switch to Mach hold, which is right here, just for the final 1,000 feet. That is it. Our engines, I think I can crank them back up to 92% now. It'll help us a little bit. There we go. Temperatures. Now it's working. In the previous flight, that didn't work at all. And I thought it was broken because of the new version of the sim, but it's working today. That's the one we got to watch for. If you go above 92 on N1, that'll get to red and start on fire. So we're pushing the limits, but that's okay. Looks like we weren't too steep this time, so our fuel pressure is stabilized. Normally we have a problem there. The lights are the way I want them. Everything is set and ready to go. The only thing we have to do before cruise now is at 29,000 feet, switch to Mach hold. So I'm going to give you a moment of sightseeing. We'll do that together, and then when we reach cruise, that'll be the end of this first part. So, yeah, this might be a three-parter. Why not? There's so much to do in this plane. If we had an FMS, we'd program it. I would hit go. We would do a minute of sightseeing, and then we'd come down together in one video. But that's not how this works. You know, it's super involved. And that's the whole point of this thing. You're going to get to see it. So, minute of sightseeing till we reach 29,000, and then we'll do Mach hold, and that'll be another video. I'll see you in a moment. Alright, we're almost at 29,000. Close enough, 27.6. We'll go to Mach hold now. There's actually some argument about when you go to Mach hold, but we'll do it right now. That's just going to hold it at the Mach reading, which is on the outside. So, what do we need to do? Nothing. We're just going to keep an eye on our oil temperature, or oil pressure, I mean. Make sure all the lights stay green. I was looking at that one. Make sure all the lights stay out. Everything is pressurized, everything's ready to go. At this altitude, I don't think I need to watch our speed. We'll climb pretty high, but I don't think we're going to overspeed. It's coming down, we might overspeed. So I'm going to stick with you just for another moment until we reach cruise. Oh, look at that, the weather updated. How nice. I'm going to stick with you until we reach cruise. And that'll conclude our video in just a moment here. And then we'll have another video of cruise and VOR changes. And then we'll probably have a third video of just the approach, because again, there's so much to do. We don't have an FMS that'll bring us straight to the runway and we land ourselves at minimums. I mean, there's a lot to do between now and the destination. So we're at 29,000 now. We're about to reach cruise. We'll do sightseeing from the outside when we reach cruise. So let's do that right now, and then we'll wrap this thing up. All right, there we are. We are at cruise. We are speeding up like crazy. The only thing I need to do now is make sure we won't overspeed. I guess it's possible we might overspeed at this altitude, but I really doubt it. I'm going to keep an eye on that. And that's it. We're at cruise. What are we doing for VOR stuff here? Where's the next one? 60 some miles out, and then we're going to switch to the next VOR, which will be in the next video. So I'm going to leave you with an outro of sightseeing, and I'll catch you in part 2.